So this is gonna be a way different vibe than most of my videos. I probably should have waited a day to make this because I am real mad. I'm still really mad, so get ready for this. Hey guys, so today I'm going to be making something a little bit different from our usual style and also usual content. I want to talk about something that's less related to cosplay construction and more related to the cosplay community. And very specifically, I want to talk about cosplay influencer scams. I got really inspired to make this video because this week I received not one, not two, but 3 different freaking scams in my Instagram inbox, and I am sick of it. It is a waste of everyone's time. I put time into choosing products and talking with who I thought was a brand collaborator, and it turns out that no, they are trying to either scam me out of my money, my time, or sometimes actually they can be legitimately unsafe. So buckle in because I am miffed off and we're gonna go through 5 different scams that I have personally seen, how you can recognize the warning signs, and then also kind of touch on what makes a good collaboration email. I'm so infuriated. I'm seriously so infuriated. I absolutely should have waited to make this video before I was less pissed off, but I'm pissed off now, so we're making this video. Okay, so I'm gonna shake this up a little bit actually. Instead of starting with the most benign and the most common scam, I'm gonna start with the one that made me want to make this video, this super annoying shipping scam. I've actually not seen this before. This is the first time I encountered it yesterday and it really made me angry. I don't know if this is actually called a shipping scam, but it's what I'm gonna call it. Essentially what this scam is you receive a message from a potential brand partner. They ask you to either participate in a partnership or to take photos for them, and they offer what sounds like a reasonable amount of money or exchange of product. Yesterday, I received an email from Smart Backpacks offering $200 per photograph for a set of 5. Now, this is actually not a huge amount of money for brand influencer sponsorships. A lot of times a red flag is someone offering an absolutely ludicrous amount of money for how big you are. But in this case, 200 bucks is pretty normal and maybe even on the low side for this kind of work. They were offering 50% upfront payment after you receive the product and 50% upon delivery. Everything sounds super great so far. They gave me a coupon code in order to purchase the backpack without paying for it. I spent a bunch of time looking through all their various options, and then I went to purchase the backpack, and I ended up with this. The price of the backpack was reduced, but not the shipping. And here's what this scam essentially is. Even though these backpacks are listed for 120 bucks, and it sounds like, wow, I'm getting a really expensive backpack for only, 16 bucks to ship, which sounds reasonable. No, these backpacks are not actually worth $120. Usually this shipping scam is products that are selling for 3 bucks on AliExpress. So what happens is the victim purchases the backpack thinking that they are entering into a collaboration. They pay you $16 for shipping, which is really to actually purchase the backpack from this site. They have essentially tricked you into buying this thing that you don't need, and then at best, they disappear forever. At worst, you never get your product and they disappear forever. It's essentially overseas sellers tricking vulnerable influencers into buying their crappy products. Just kind of as a general rule of thumb, if you are entering into any kind of influencer relationship, you should never ever have to purchase anything. That is not the way it works. I don't care who tells you otherwise. You are in a partnership where they are offering goods for your services, so why should you ever pay for those goods? And I don't care if it's a discounted rate, I don't care if it's shipping. You should never be on the hook to pay a brand to participate. Okay, we talked a lot about that one. I'm sorry, I'm just still just infuriated at the time I guess I spent picking out the backpack. I feel like an idiot. But if you've never seen these before, you kind of have to evaluate them as they come to you. I've never run into this shipping scam, but the red flag is paying for the product. So you want to politely ask, oh, did you have a mistake with your shipping code? And then they give you some nonsense tagline about we believe in ethical business practices so both parties make a contribution. No, this is not a collaboration to sell your product. You are paying me to do a job for you. Scam number 2 is actually less of a scam and more just woefully obnoxious and annoying. This is what I'm gonna call a discount code scam. Again, it's not really a scam. A discount code partnership. It's not a good partnership, trust me. This is something a lot of cosplayers have seen. It is a plague upon the Instagram community. And these are various overseas clothing sellers who are spamming cosplayers' posts with comments like, DM me for collaboration. I love your style. Do you want to collaborate with me? No, they don't. They want free advertising. They are not offering you anything, because when you DM them, as I did 2 days ago, because I was deathly curious and sick of these things, what you get is, hey, you can become our awesome ambassador. You will get a discount code with 40% off free shipping for any of our collections. A personal 20% off discount code will help you grow your social media presence. All you have to do is purchase items from our store at full price, and you can have all of these discount code benefits. Wow! Once again, we have an influencer collaboration, which is requiring you to pay an upfront sum of money. That is not how a job works. You don't pay the employer, you get paid by the employer. So these are utterly not worth it. They're just very, very annoying and all over the place. Essentially, I do not ever recommend signing up for anything where you have to pay in. Now, this is a little different if you already love the company and buy stuff from them all the time and you want to promote them with a personal affiliate code or something like that. That's totally fine, because that's brand loyalty. But this is someone who is essentially spamming strangers to try and get free advertisement. No, not for you. Scam number 3 is also equally frustrating. This is not something that's really limited to the cosplay community, but something that I've gotten quite a few emails about, and that is Facebook ad scams. What happens with this scam is you will receive an email from a quote brand, maybe someone who works with super top brands such as Nike and Ketchup. I don't know why I just said Ketchup. That's pretty weird. I'm pretty sure Ketchup is not going to be emailing any cosplayers. I'm also pretty sure Ketchup is not called Ketchup and they have an actual brand name like Heinz. So that's fine. Heinz, if you want to work with me, I'll make you a hot dog costume or something. I don't know. So you'll receive this very generous sounding offer, and all you have to do is post ads for this brand on your page. Sometimes they actually want this to be a reoccurring rolling amount of ads, so it sounds like you are going to receive a lot of money. And this is unfortunately the hook that grabs people. People want to make exceptions when you think you're getting something really great and amazing out of the offer. But in general, receiving an offer that's way, way over market value is a huge red flag. Brands usually know what their product is worth, and that's what they want to pay and no more. So for instance, I've gotten these emails offering $1,000 for targeted Facebook ads on my not very great Facebook page. That's nuts and very suspicious. If you email them back asking for more information, it all sounds easy peasy, and they actually want to go through Facebook's official ads channels just to be really secure and buy the books. All you have to do is join the official Facebook's ads group and post it from there. As you guys probably know, this is a scam, and what actually happens when you join this group is that you inadvertently give admin access to your Facebook page to these people. They're going to take control of your page, lock you out, and then use your cosplay account forevermore as an ad generation spam bot. And that will be the fate of your page if you ever do this. Always avoid these. Never sign up for anything where you have to put in your Facebook login or give admin permissions to somebody else. As a quick note, this is not the same as OAuth login. That is a completely legit thing that actual influencer collaboration sites will do. The page always looks like this, no exceptions whatsoever, and this is just a secure way to log in with Facebook and Instagram without giving the third party your information. It is super duper normal. You can Google it. It's fine. So scam number 4 is actually really weird. I've only encountered this once before, but it bears mentioning here because it was just so insane. This is what I'm going to call an MLM scam. Now, for those of you who don't know, and you should all know this, an MLM stands for multi-level marketing. It is a glorified pyramid scheme that claims to not be a pyramid scheme because they sell real, tangible, actual products. It's still a pyramid scheme though. They suck. Do I even still have this one on my phone? I got this a while ago. Oh my God, what are they even called? With this scam, a brand reaches out to you offering some kind of product trade influencer collaboration. They have maybe makeup products, they have maybe wrap products, maybe oil products. Those are all pretty common things with MLMs, to be honest. But in this case, the one that was offered to me was an Italian line of skincare makeup stuff. What they offered was that they would send me a starter pack, and while they cannot offer any money up front, they were offering a very, very high commission rate. 50% for anyone who buys the product. That's really high, by the way. Usually these affiliate commission rates are somewhere between 5 and 10% absolute maximum. 50% is absurd. So that was a strange red flag. The other red flag was they finally sent me the product catalog, and I looked it up and began looking into the names of all these products, only to discover that it was a rebranding of a popular MLM Juveder. Now, he had not mentioned any fees, but I guarantee you that that starter kit that I was going to use to sell the product and get that 50% affiliate commission fee, he was essentially getting me to join the MLM as his downline, essentially inadvertently signing me up for a job under the guise of being an influencer collaboration. That's nuts. He didn't actually get this far because I yelled at him first. But again, we have a huge red flag with a buy-in required from the influencer. You should never be paying anything. Just like with MLMs, you should not be paying your employer, which is why MLMs are ridiculous and horrible. And of course, the second red flag is the name of the product itself. I haven't mentioned this, but one of the first things you should always do if you receive a collaboration offer is research the name of the company. You want to find out if this is a legitimate business. And if you can't find any information on them, that's not a good sign. You should probably look into that. This is actually the thing that makes me extra super infuriated about the shipping scam, is that these people named themselves such a generic, stupid name that it was impossible for me to research them ahead of time. The name is Smart Backpack. That's literally the name of the product. And if you Google that, like 50 different overseas smart backpacks come up. And that point about researching the name of the brand that you're collaborating with brings me to my final point. And this scam is actually somewhat dangerous. We've been talking about things that are taking your time and your money, but in this case, these are people who are trying to take either your photos or your imagery or potentially even kidnap you. This is super dangerous, so please, please, please always watch out for this kind of scam. What I'm going to call this is a modeling/photography scam, and it is unfortunately very prevalent in the modeling community already, but I am beginning to see more and more of these kinds of emails infiltrating the cosplay community as well, where maybe people are not as wise to their acts. When I receive emails like this, they are usually requests for me to be a model or for me to create and send them pictures of a cosplay for some kind of very elaborate, very amazing job. Sometimes they say where the job is located, and in some situations they actually said it doesn't matter where I'm located, they will come to me or they will reveal the location at a later time. But it is a high-paying job and they want you to participate. Some of these emails have very little information. They don't even mention the name of the client. They don't even mention the name of the person sending the email, which is like the biggest red flag you can possibly have. However, I've also actually gotten phishing emails from legitimate talent casting companies. I've done a small amount of TV work in the past with my cosplay, and so it wasn't really out of the ordinary for a casting agency to be messaging me, but this was a fake email pretending to be from the casting agency. Sometimes these requests will ask that you actually go somewhere to meet with them, which is incredibly dangerous if you have not thoroughly vetted who you are talking to. More commonly though, what I will get is actually a request for a bunch of personal information, and like not even social security information, just like weird, creepy information like photos of myself doing modeling, my name, my height, my age, my like body size, like weird stuff. My zodiac sign, actually, that was in one of them. I don't know why they wanted that. Like, if they're making some kind of like weird female fantasy power hour thing with my pictures, I don't know. But essentially, they want a lot of personal information, and they especially want some personal photos and videos, and honestly, they are probably intending them to end up on some kind of porn site somewhere. It's just not a good scene. They are not going to give you anything after you give them your personal information. They're essentially preying on women and unknowing cosplayers, and it's just disgusting. The main thing to watch out for here is understanding who is sending you the email. If they won't reveal who their client is, or if they claim that they are a certain brand, but they are sending an email from a very suspicious looking address, like bigbrandname@gmail.com, no one's gonna be sending it from a Gmail address. That is really suspicious. It should be coming usually from that brand's domain name. So with all these terrible scams out there, how is a cosplayer supposed to evaluate what a good and a bad influencer email looks like? Things to look out for: name and company name. Who's sending you this email? They should always identify themselves in the very first email. Not saying who they are is a humongous red flag. There is no reason for a brand to keep that secret. That's nuts. If they do include a name, are they legit? Go ahead and Google them. Try and get as much information about this group as possible. If it's a known scammy site, there might be people warning about it. Otherwise, you can kind of see where they're established, where they're based out of, and get a sense if it's someone you can trust. Number 2 is grammar and spelling. People do make typos, but for the most part, you're supposed to be working with a marketing representative and they should know how to make a professional email. If the email is really hard to read, you can barely tell what they're asking for, or it just doesn't make sense, something is amiss and you should be on your guard. Number 3, details about what they're offering. Any legitimate brand should be telling you in the first email or two what exactly they are looking for in pretty excruciating detail. This should include what kind of product it is, what kind of post they're looking for, and also what the compensation they're offering is. If they keep it vague, move on, it's not for you. Now, for general influencer collaboration tips, there's generally 2 kinds of compensation. Number 1 is in-kind collaborations or free product incentive. A lot of cosplayers are already familiar with this. Product exchanges are already common amongst wig companies, circle lens groups, makeup places, you name it. If you're a smaller account or you just really actually like the brand's product, this is a totally valid type of influencer compensation. However, make sure that you're considering the amount of time and effort that you're putting into the collaboration. I personally don't know if a $20 lipstick would be worth 3 Instagram posts where I have to dress up in a different cosplay every time. Different collaborations have different requirements, so make sure you know what you're getting into and what your time is worth. The second type of compensation is, of course, monetary. Now, influencer rates vary wildly. This is no joke, all over the place depending on the platform and also what kind of account that you have. You can find some general rubrics on Google, but at the end of the day, it should really be up to how much you think your time is worth and, again, how long you are spending on the collaboration. So, for instance, if I'm asked to make a post for an upcoming video game, what my time is worth is going to be wildly different depending on if I am just making a story to shout it out versus if the company is asking me to make an entire brand new cosplay from scratch and also shoot photos. These 2 things are going to require vastly different amounts of times, and so the rate that you're asking for should really reflect that. Personally, I also like to scale my rates depending on how well the brand actually fits in with my style of cosplay, and if it's something that's going to require more thought and more effort on my side. So for instance, I do product trades for wigs all the time because I love wigs and I wear them and I use them and they're very useful to me. But if someone's asking me to advertise for, say, an in-game app, that is actually going to be something I'm going to ask them to pay for because it's not on brand for me and it's work. And finally, if your brand has agreed to monetary compensation, always ask for a contract. Creating influencer content is kind of a lot of work and you really want to make sure that both sides fulfill their obligations. If you've agreed to create something, you need to follow through on that process, and you also need to protect yourself to make sure that you're paid after you put in all of that effort and work. A company offering a contract is a great sign of a professional brand, and anyone who refuses to sign anything is probably a deal that you want to walk away from. All right. That has been my giant rant on cosplay influencer scams. I hope it wasn't too annoying or too weird for you guys. I actually really love talking about community points like this, so if you like this kind of video, definitely like and share and, I don't know, comment with what you want to see next time. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys soon.